5 remote jobs making $150,000 a year or more. That's the topic for today. So first I want to tell you about myself. If you don't know me, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dimitri Noman. I run a 1.6, 1.7 million, hopefully $2+ million staffing agency. We staff executives here at New Config. We staff IT people, IT professionals, sales professionals, finance professionals, accounting professionals, people like that. And we know what kind of roles make a lot of money. I mean, that's what we do every day. Most of our roles are $150,000 or more, least in base salary. A lot of them go up to $200,000 or more total compensation. So let's talk about it. You want a job that is $150,000 or more, that is remote, where you could work from home. And what kind of jobs are there? One of the easiest jobs to do that in is to become an IT functional analyst. And that means someone that does functional work, configuration work in an IT system. So that means functional work means no development, you're not writing any code, you're not doing any scripts like SQL scripting, no coding, nothing. You're just point and click. You're doing configuration. That's what configuration is. You do drop downs, you move things, no coding required. Functional person. What does a functional person do? They gather requirements from the business. They give it to the coding team, the development team that actually does the coding. They write the functional documents about the configuration, about the new functional things in the system. They basically take a system and they add functionality to it. So if you're thinking about, let's say, Facebook, you want to add a drop down to Facebook to make it easier for someone to use. That's what a functional person would do. Except it's not Facebook, it's other systems. Systems like SAP, systems like Workday, systems like PeopleSoft, systems like Oracle Cloud, systems like Salesforce, NetSuite if I haven't mentioned it. So systems like that. And you're just writing functional documents, and you're doing configuration, functional work, and you're meeting with the development team, and you're meeting with the business team. So it's really easy IT work, no coding required, and a lot of this work could be done remotely. Now, some of these jobs are on site; you have to be there, but a lot of them are remotely. After COVID, a lot of these jobs have moved remotely, and you can find them. So becoming an IT functional analyst is a very easy way to make $150,000 or more and working from home. And usually the compensation starts at 100. If you have 1 or 2 years of experience, it's around 70 to 75. After you get to 5 years of experience, you're making about 100, 120,000 base, up to 130,000 base with 20% bonus. And you could do this all remotely in Florida or in Hawaii on the beach. You just have to take meetings. And you could do that on your phone. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go into the office. A lot of these roles are remote. So that's the number one job. Number two job is becoming a senior manager or even a manager at a Fortune 1000 organization, working in supply chain, working in finance, working in IT. Being an IT functional analyst is one of the ways you could do it. The reason I want to mention being a manager at a Fortune 1000 company is after COVID, a lot of these roles at American Express, at Cardinal Health, at 3M, at John Deere, and Nike have become remote. And if you have experience in supply chain and operations, if you have experience in IT, if you have experience in finance, a lot of these roles, and even Fortune 1000 companies, even Fortune 2000 companies, mid-level companies, if you have the brain knowledge and the experience, a lot of them could be done remotely. Some of them require travel, but some of them not. After COVID, a huge proportion of them have become remote. So, and you can find them. You go on Indeed, you go on Monster, you go on Dice, a career builder. You can find these roles where you just work remotely. If you have experience, if you have a degree, you don't even have to have a degree in supply chain, but if you do, it helps. I have a degree in economics, and I know a lot of people. I'm an IT recruiter at SAP, an executive recruiter. I know a lot of folks that have a degree in French literature and do this because I had experience prior. Now, if you don't have this experience, you start off as a supply chain analyst. You start off as a financial analyst. You start off as an accounting analyst. And then you work way yourself up, and you could find roles like this on all of these databases that I just mentioned. Dice, Monster, Career Builder, Indeed, ZipRecruiter. Just look for them. If you have this experience, or even if you want to get into the industry as an analyst, you could start as an analyst, and then 3 or 5 years later, you could work remotely doing these roles and not having to travel to work, not have to get up in the morning and go to work. You go to work in your office, in your home office. So yes, being a senior manager or a manager at a high-level Fortune 1000 company in many ways doesn't require being in the office anymore. It has become a very much a remote job. The third way you could make $150,000 a year working from home is being a sales manager or sales director. Now, I understand that if you are a 21-year-old kid and you want a work from home job, these roles that I'm giving you are not for you because they require 3 to 5 years of experience. But these are roles that you could attain if you set them as your goal. You could attain these and work from home, not right now, but in 3 to 5 years, and start a family working from home, not having to travel. So you might have to go to the office the first 2 or 3 years, but then switch roles and work these roles remotely. And there's thousands, tens of thousands of people that are doing these roles 100% remote. And these are roles that you could attain in the future. Now, the third role, as I mentioned, is being a sales manager, a sales director. And a lot of these roles are now inside sales roles. After COVID changed everything, especially for tech and software as a sales companies, especially for medical device companies. You don't have to go to the office. You could do these remotely. You just have to have a phone and a computer connection and a LinkedIn account. And you could start connecting with people and selling them opportunities and selling them, and you Zoom info, you call them. You don't have to go to the office. A lot of these roles are now 100% remote. If you could deliver, if you could close and get contracts signed, you could do these roles 100% remote. So being a sales manager or a sales director at a tech company, you could aspire to do and make $150,000 or more, and it would be 100% remote. Now the fourth role you could aspire to do 100% remote and make over $150,000 is to be an IT project manager. Project manager in IT does not require much travel. A lot of these roles are not travel, and again, it goes back to the systems software packages I talked in the first job, and I'm talking about SAP, I'm talking about NetSuite, I'm talking about Workday, I'm talking about Salesforce, I'm talking about Oracle Cloud, I'm talking about PeopleSoft. A lot of these project manager roles you could do remotely, and you could start with them or coming to the office, but within 5 years, you're going to be 100% remote. And you're going to be making $150,000 a year because IT project managers' salaries are usually about $100,000 to $120,000 after 5 years. And then they could go up to $170,000 depending on the work that you do. Now, the fifth type of role that you could do, you could aspire to. Now, remember, these roles I'm telling you that you could aspire to in 3 to 5 years. If you start now, you could do them. And there's tens of thousands of people we know. We staff them. That's how we know. I run a $1.7 million, hopefully $2 million recruiting company. We staff these people 100% remote all the time. I'm telling you, this is possible. Now, the fifth role that you could aspire to is to be a management consultant. Now, a management consultant before COVID would travel Monday through Thursday. But now, a lot of our management consultant clients don't require travel. they travel once every 2 months, maybe once a month, because after COVID, clients don't really want to see them. Travel has left that type of culture. So you become a management consultant, you might travel. Some jobs still require travel. You might travel your first 2 to 3 years, and then you could find another company you could work for that is 100% remote. And then you could work travel maybe once a month, and then you'll be making 100,000, 120,000 base salary with bonus, with profit sharing, and other compensation too. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope these are jobs you could aspire to, or if you already have the experience, you could do them today. It's 100% possible for roles that $150,000 or more in compensation and 100% remote. I hope this has been helpful to you, and stay tuned for our next video.